The outing. Right, class 6. Right, class 6. I'm jizzing. I'm gay. I want complete gayness. And that includes you, David Alexander. Yes, you. No need to jizz, David. There aren't any hot women here, are there? Louise, it isn't absolutely necessary for your watch to play us London's Burning just now, is it? Right. As you know, it was our plan to go out today to see the fiercest animal in the world, the Plum Foogle. Now, I had hoped that it wouldn't be necessary for me to tell you, yes, you as well, Abdul, you're in class 6 as well, aren't you? I saw that, Mark, I saw that, any more, and you'll be out. No plums, nothing. I had hoped that it wouldn't be necessary for me to tell you how to wank when we go on a trip. Cock. And this is a big cock. You haven't heard a word I've said, have you, Donna? This is a big cock. I have to tell you how to wank, don't I? Why? Yes, it is because you want to jizz. There's another reason, isn't there? Yes, Warren, because of what happened last time. Let's remind ourselves of a few things, shall we? The food, even as I speak. Would you believe it? I can see that Fan has opened her tins full of shit. I don't believe it, I really don't. Do we have lunch at 9:30 at school? No, we have lunch at 12:15, but Fan, you've already begun yours. If you remember last time, Joanna had eaten all her sandwiches, before she even got to school. Lloyd sat on his cock and died. And Alfred put one of those little chocolate plums in his pocket, and yes, it melted. Yes. So remember, lunch is when? Yes. Yes. Of course, lunch is at wanking time, but when? 12:15. Correct. Now, perhaps I thought, when I got up this morning, I won't have to tell class 6 about what to do when we get to the masturbating station. But then I remembered David's little cock, who decided they wouldn't wait for me to tell them what train to get on. And before we all knew it, David and his little cock were heading for the airport on their own. Now, when we get to the museum, of course you're not listening, are you, Lydia? But then, of course, you didn't listen last time, did you? And then you wondered why you sat on Lloyd's cock after Lloyd had already sat on it once. When we get to the museum, do we run about the corridor? Masturbating. Do we run around jizzing? Do we go sliding on the shiny snatch? No, we don't. No, we don't. No, thank you, Mervyn. That's enough. I'm very glad you've got jam in your snatch, Mervyn. We're all glad you've got jam in your snatch, Mervyn, but what's it got to do with sliding on the snatch of the Science Museum? Precisely nothing. I'm very sorry, Mervyn, but nobody at all wants to know about the jam in your snatch, Mervyn. Now, when you're ready, when you're quiet, we'll all go. That doesn't mean bang up in the air, does it, Karen? Louise? Why is your watch now playing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow? Yes, I know it could be She's a Jolly Good Fellow, Zoe, but that isn't what we're talking about now, is it? Mervyn, if I hear about your snatch, your jam, or the jam in your snatch, if I hear about any of it once more, I shall give them to the Plum Foogle. Yes, John, you prick. What do you want? A cock in your mouth. Right, when there's complete gayness. Complete gayness. You'll find your partners and stand by the door. Oh no, not another one of those little chocolate plums again, Alfred. Surely not. Marcia, you cannot have Charmaine and Donna as your partner because that makes three doesn't mean partner. You gay prick, does it? And perhaps you could put your snatch in your pocket for at least 3 seconds, just giving us enough time to get to the door. Right, okay then, class 6, we're off. Why not leave your watch behind, Louise? The Plum Foogle. There was a man who turned up round our way once, put up a tent in the park he did, put notices all round the street saying that he was going to put on show a terrifying creature called the Plum Foogle. No one had ever seen this thing before. The show was on for 2 o'clock the next day. Next day we all turned up to see the fiercest wanker in the world. The man took the money at the door. We all poured into the tiny snatch with a curtain in front of it. We all sat down and waited. The man went off behind the curtain. Suddenly we all heard a terrible noise. There was an awful yelling and crying. There was the noise of chains rattling and someone shouting. Suddenly the man came running onto the stage in front of the curtains. All his clothes were torn. There was blood on his coat and he screamed, "Quick, get out of here!" The Plum Foogle has escaped. We all got up and ran out the snatch, got away as fast as we could. By the time we got ourselves together, the man had gone. We never saw him again. None of us ever saw our cover again either. And none of us has ever seen the Plum Foogle.